Oh, hey everyone. So normally on these nights I'm running errands, but I actually had a free night, so I thought I would go ahead and do a video because I kind of have a unique story that I can't really write out on my blog. But so I have incredible neighbors. I've already said this. They are so wonderful. But there's been some over the years, just some kind of neighborhood tension between, some of the older neighbors and some of the new ones coming in. And it kind of had an interesting episode today. And I wasn't really sure what to do because I think differently. I've already said this. But two, I had a hard time figuring out how to be authentic and real to myself and still function out of my personality type, which often tends to be a people pleaser. So, okay, here's the situation. As I've been working in my house, I've been cleaning and decluttering, and I pulled out all this stuff in my back storage. And it was stuff that I had brought with me from my ex-husband's house 5 years ago. I mean, we're talking, I filled up the entire backseat of my car and trunk full of bags of clothes and shoes and toys because we just kept carrying all that stuff around with us in hopes to have a garage sale someday. So with it came, all that stuff. I had some great toddler toys, like a big chalk easel. I had a booster seat, open up like art desk, just some stuff. I had a fish tank, like just things that I was like, okay, maybe I can try and make a buck or two off of this. So I had taken pictures of it, put it on Facebook Marketplace. All the people that were interested in never showed up. So I said, you know what? Forget it. I don't want to be stuck to my phone trying to make sure I don't miss any of these messages. I don't want to just kind of like, keep all this stuff here. Maybe I'll just put it at the end of the road and hopefully if someone needs it, they find it. And it sat out there for a couple of days and some people picked up some stuff. And then one day I went out and it was all gone. I was like, awesome, great. It saves me a trip to Goodwill. I don't have to worry about it. Somebody who needs it got it. Well, so this morning I get a message from my neighbor. We will call her Alice. Alice was not a happy camper. I was like, oh, okay, what's going on? She said, is it just me or is the stuff in, we'll call her Barbara, in Barbara's garage sale, the stuff that they took from your curb? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And she took a picture of it and sent it to me and I was like, oh, well, I mean, not how I wanted to see the stuff used, but I mean, what do you do? It's not like I'm going to go over there and demand her to give the stuff back because I wanted to give it away for free. I gave it away for free. She just happened to be utilizing it to make some money off of it. It happens all the time. And that's what I ended up telling Alice. I was like, okay, but it's fine. I said that this is what antiquers do. They go find stuff, they clean it up, they resell it, they make a buck. So, I mean, I can't blame her for it. So I thought it had all settled. And I appreciated Alice's, indignation for me. She just was so upset. And I was like, it's okay. So I thought I talked her back. Color me surprised when a couple hours later, I get a text message with a screenshot of a text that she had sent to Barbara on my behalf. And I was like, oh, what just happened? Yes, she did. She told Barbara, she said, I am just so disgusted at your behavior that you would take Johnny's stuff and sell it in your yard sale. She said that was just so disrespectful. And she just went off on Barbara. And I was like, ooh, So I waited. I was like, what? Okay, what do I do? I don't want to, and see, this is where my head goes. I don't want to make Alice feel bad for standing up for me. I didn't ask her to, no, but one of those things, I tend to be more passive. I tend to be more like, just, it's okay, no big deal, it's fine, people please, and there are some people who legitimately would have been offended by that. And Alice happened to be one of them. She was legitimately offended for me. And so I was just kind of like, okay, how do I take care of Alice and make sure that she's not, she's good. While that's not something I would have done, I appreciate that you care about me and my feelings and me being respected so much that you felt the need to do that. But then at the same time, about 10 minutes later, I get a text message from Barbara, who is just appalled that she thought that she offended me. I was like, oh, okay, well, here's the deal. But and what's funny, and I want to be true to myself. So I'm trying to talk Alice off the ledge, but at the same time, Barbara's message came in and she said something funny. She said, well, my daughter grabbed this stuff because she thought it would bring interest to the yard sale. And me, I kind of wanted to be like, really? That you thought, really? You can be honest with me. You can say, hey, you had free shit sitting there and I wanted to make a buck off of it. I would have been like, I got you. But because she was so defensive because she had been called out on this, suddenly, it kind of felt like backpedaling. But I didn't want to, there was no reason to fight that. I didn't need to call her out on that. So as I tried to stick as authentic and as real, because to me it wasn't a big deal, but had I called her out on it, then she would have thought it was a big deal and that I was offended, but when in fact I wasn't. So I ignored that statement. But I wanted to be honest to myself, and I told her, I said, my intention for putting it out there was so that someone who needs this could use it. And in my mind, when, some young parents are driving by and they see it and they're like, oh, we could really use that, and it would be good. Now, granted, who knows? They're putting on a yard sale. Maybe they need the money, and so it's going to bless two people. Yeah, someone may find it for cheaper at their garage sale. Instead of going out and buying a brand new one, they found a cheap one here, and then they make a buck. So, I end up blessing two people. I don't know, but that's what I ended up telling Barbara. I was honest. I told her what my original intention was, and she was apologetic, and she said, I just wasn't trying to disrespect. I said, I didn't feel disrespected. It's fine. They offered, they said, well, anything that's left over, we're going to donate. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. That's up to you. That's your call. And then she said, well, I talked it over with my daughter. We're not even going to sell it anymore. And I just told Barbara, I said, Barbara, it's fine. It's yours now. Whatever you want to do with it, not a big deal. I hope it blesses multiple people. So I struggled. I really did, because I wanted to be as real and as honest and as truthful with Alice and with Barbara, but I didn't want it to look like I was playing either one of them. I didn't want it to look like I was manipulative, and I told Alice, I said, I talked to Barbara. Barbara texted me. I let her know my original intention. This is what she's going to do, but I'm good with it. And hoping to, calm poor Alice down. But that's what I struggled with. This all came in probably about, I don't know. I think the last message happened at 3:30, and I've been stewing on it because I just go, oh, what happens? What happens if they come back and they think that I'm being fake, or that they think I'm being unauthentic, or this is what happens with my brain. This is what I go through. So it was a funny situation, but I think, for people like me, especially people pleasers, I think, and I don't do it because I'm insecure. I do it because I wanted to thank Alice. Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for thinking that I might be offended and you stuck up for me when I probably wouldn't have. I would not have asserted that. I just would have been like, but since I wasn't, I didn't. But, thank you for thinking of me. And then, talking to poor Barbara, it's okay. I appreciate that you are concerned that you offended me and you're doing all of this. And I can see, and in my mind I go, I really hope sometime they don't ever talk about it and they're like, oh, well, she was like super fake, or yeah, see, this is where my head goes. This is the problem with my head. So yeah, that was an interesting story. It's an interesting way, I feel like some people would pick one side or the other, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to look at Alice and say, well, you shouldn't have done that. I mean, I wanted to appreciate her effort, or I didn't want to jump on Alice's bandwagon and be, give it to Barbara and be like, what the fuck? I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that to either of them. So I was stuck trying to find a middle ground, and it made me feel really insecure. Like, really just like, oh God, I hope I'm doing this right. So, welcome to the world that is my brain that struggles with these things. Yeah. Anyways, so I hope everyone has a great weekend. I am counting down the days to my realtor appointment, and yeah, it's gonna be hopefully good. Keep my fingers crossed. All right. Bye.